Well, today we take a look at the Coast FX350 pocket knife. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I am your host, Aaron, kicking it in the backyard. Got GT Jr. hanging out with me. GT Jr. Mark II's getting fed inside and balancing life. Guys, I'm just like you. You got to balance your life and everything going on. I got to do the exact same thing. And it's fun to be able to get out here and still be able to be with family and give you guys this type of content. So what made me connect with this and want to pick this knife up is that, one, we've never reviewed a Coast knife before. We've reviewed some of their flashlights, and they're very high value. You get a lot of performance for not a lot of money, and that carries over into their pocket knives. I paid about $22 for this. They go anywhere between like $25 usually and $35. Just depends on who, what, when, where, why. I will have links in the description below to Blade HQ, to Amazon, and don't forget about our Knockaround Sunglass affiliate. So if you're looking for high value, high performing sunglasses, those rock as well. The whole family's been enjoying those. So check those out. All the links below. Really helps us out. Support the channel, helps me buy blades just like this and gear so that we can test and review it. So you guys are really helping support the channel in that simple way. So thank you. So yeah, high value, but then it has a lot of really good options, and from what it looks like on paper, better steel than what you're going to get from most foreign produced like $25 to $35 knives. This comes with 9 CR, I believe 18 MOV or 17 MOV. I can't remember. I'll annotate it in right now if it's not 9 CR 18 MOV. So definitely step up over, you know, like 8 CR and 7 CR that we see a lot with some of these, you know, budget-friendly knives. So we're getting a budget-friendly price, but then we got G10 handles on one side, you know, full flat grind, frame lock on the other, deep loop over pocket clip that's 3-way directional, so righties, lefties, bronze bushing. I mean, we got a lot going on for not a lot of money from a company that don't see a lot, you know, of reviews and isn't really talked about a lot. So I said, hey, I like the flashlights. Let's try out this pocket knife. So that's what we're going to do today. Break this knife down, see if it's a great beater blade, budget-friendly kind of tank for your EDC or your work environment collection and usage. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. Let's go ahead, break this knife down, and see what it can do.
All right, here we are at the tabletop. We're going to talk pocket clip first, right out of the gate. And throughout this video, I am going to have the Ontario Rat Model 1 in D2 lurking in the background because we will refer to it a lot in this video. But what we got is a loop over pocket clip with Phillips head screwdrivers to change out to make it just easier. Again, I think they were thinking, because a lot of these tools are sold at, you know, like hardware stores and that type of thing, that just making it easier on the construction worker in particular, but also people in general. The other ones are star driver, you know, torque screws, but the pocket clips is Phillips head, so you can tip up, tip down, loop over, matching gray, or you can swap it over here to the G10 for lefties, tip down only, which is super sweet. I really like that a lot, that they gave 3-way directional on a frame lock. A lot of frame lock companies, particularly, or knives, and particularly, you know, budget-friendly stuff, they're like, yeah, we're not giving an option for lefties. This one, they did do that, which is great. And I would argue for a lot of usage is more enjoyable to carry than in Ontario because it's a little bit lower profile, and it's that loop over, so it's going to ride a little bit deeper. There is that lanyard hole as well for 550 paracord if you want to do that. But tip up, tip down, and tip up, left and right. All right, the handle on the Coast. Now, this model number, the FX350, you can get this in black as well. This is their tan version, coyote tan with that kind of cool titanium look to it. I think it's a cool little difference there. They've done some pretty heavy texturing here on the handle scale. I can't remember if it's G10 or Zytel, either way. It gives you, I would say, heavy traction on it, kind of honeycombed, which is pretty cool. Definitely, you know, some texture to it, 3D, so that for harder use, you know, construction work, or just, you know, just overall grip, even though it's a frame lock, is going to be very high, which is really nice. So they have blocky jimping on 2 points on the back and 1 on the bottom here. I'm going to open that bad boy up. You can see there, fits my large size hands really well. Deep cut in there. Really like that. The jimping is not sharp though anywhere on this. It's just kind of squared off, which I totally love. Flow through construction, great. You know, frame lock on one side, stainless steel liner on the other, and then the scale. That blocky jimping right there, jimping on the top, blocky, totally feels good, fills it out. with a little bit of room to spare. So handle ergonomics are really nice, and more, I would argue a little more natural sometimes than what's on the Rat, because the Rat is flat on the sides and then has this very large ricasso kind of blank spot you got to choke up on if you want to find detail work. Still got that nice cut in, large, a little bit bigger. You know, there's no hook on the back here, so large people with extra large size hands, this does have a little bit of a curvature that may get in the way for certain people. You know, so there's not quite as much real estate on there, but you can see that this is like rounded and contoured. This guy is like flat on either side, flat on this side, but rounded and contoured on the coast. So it fills out your hand. It feels like it just kind of fills out your hand a little bit more, even though they're about the same on the thickness. Now, it is a little bit heavy at, I believe, 5.3 ounces when I weighed this guy, which is right around the same weight as the Rat. So not a huge deal one way or the other there. But that is something that I just wanted to point out with the handle ergonomics. And I do. I love them. They're, for a frame lock, it's a great, in particular for the price, it's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and hit the blade itself here. I love that, again, kind of like titanium coating on there. Holding up decent, not like mind-blowing. You can see a little bit of wear there with our tasks. And, you know, did all of our good EDC tasks on here. 3.5-inch blade, cutting edge is about 3.25 overall. You are looking at a good stout blade on the back there, about 1/8 of an inch thick, and then tapering down to that semi-precise tip with a really nice leaf shape. Love the shape of the blade as well. Great belly point right there. Great relief edge. Did not need to do any sort of tuning up. This is the factory edge that you are seeing with the testing and, you know, usage, and I always do that. I will tell you guys if I had to reprofile the edge or if I even had to do ceramic tuning up. I did not have to do any of that out of the box. Razor sharp. Now again, it's Chinese made, and it's that 9CR 17 or 18 MOV, and you know, compared to a D2 steel version of the Rat, it's not going to hold its edge quite as long. The D2 versions of the Rat will hold their edge for, you know, several more passes than the 9CR, but the 9CR is more rust resistant and it's better than, say, 8CR 13 MOV. Like here is, what is this? This is a Kershaw 8CR 14 MOV Emerson, you know, model frame lock G10. Very similar, actually. Usually about same price point, but this coast is going to hold its edge a lot longer. Just because of the 9CR, and they did a decent heat treat on it. It's not the best heat treat I've seen. It's the, what's it called? Civivi that we recently did, and like Steel Will's 9CR 18 MOV seems to hold its edge a little bit better than this does, but it's very good and an upgrade over 8CR, 7CR, and is on par, if not better than, like good cold steel AUS 8. So for what we're getting, I'm really happy with the blade steel. I would say it's an upgrade for the price point. Not quite on par with D2 steel blades, but close, and is going to be really rust resistant. Great blade shape, good performer, 90-degree spine. And for, again, just a kind of out of the blue beater blade that I was looking at, it would be a great outdoor knife, great overall just utility design blade. It would not be a good, you know, self-defense tool in my opinion. The nose is just too blunt. The Rat has a much better blade shape for that. And there are other knives out there, obviously, that will do an even better job than that. But for general utility purposes, I think they did a bang-up job with this coast. All right, we'll go ahead and hit deployment and lockup. Now, right out of the gate, what's awesome, and I hope you guys can see it in there, bronze phosphorus bushings. Love that. Again, not expecting that. I was expecting Teflon or none, and they gave us bronze. So just about the same quality as what you're going to get on an Ontario Rat Model 1, but the Rat Model 1 just has a way smoother, buttery smooth deployment, whereas this coast does not. It's pretty tight. Over time, it loosened up on me, but it's not as smooth as the Rat, even though it is on bronze bushings, just like the Rat is. Now, it is a frame lock, and you can see there, that is awesome, hitting about 80% of the back there, and it's a thick frame lock. You know, there are some frame locks out there that are kind of thin. This guy is nice and thick, gonna hit right where it's supposed to be, easy to disengage, do one-handed, close it up. Centering on this guy is just a hair off to the right, This is actually the second one. I did buy it like a used off of Amazon. The first one I did, and the centering was like way off. I mean, it was rubbing on the frame, and I think that's why the original person returned it. And you know, I tried to play with the pivot, and it just wouldn't work, so I sent it back. Got a new one, and now this one has way better centering. It's not like dead on, but I haven't seen any floating one way or the other since purchasing it and messing around with it, which is about the same amount of centering quality you're going to get with most Ontarios. Sometimes they're dead on, sometimes they're a little off. But the thumb studs work really well. Purchase on either side, righties or lefties. Very easy to engage on either side of the blade. So lockup, deployment, and centering is good, particularly for the price.
Well, folks, let's go ahead and bring it on in for the wrap up. Love it. Totally dig the knife. I think it is totally right there in the wheelhouse of the Rat Model 1 and some of those other SE pocket knives that are foreign produced, that are frame lock, you know, that it can absolutely hold its own, if not even outperform some of the AUS-8 versions that are out there. And I think you're going to get a great bang for buck, great value. Lots of really good options, and it's just a great beater knife, just very utilitarian. You can use it in a lot of scenarios, and it's going to perform well, particularly at the price point. Good gift knife as well. So yeah, it's totally rocking, and Coast has totally done a really good job with this blade, and I would totally recommend it to anybody on a tight budget looking for some good performing, you know, handle ergonomics, blade steel for the price. So thank you guys so much for coming over here today, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Don't forget about the mailbag. So if you want to possibly have one of your questions answered in an upcoming video, put hashtag mailbag. I'll take a look at those. You might get it answered in an upcoming video live. Instagram, Facebook, throwing up stuff there all the time. Different types of content, different way to communicate with me. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.